whenever I get into conversations with personal trainers, strength coaches, I always hear, and Cahal and I have had this conversation, I need more leads. I need more leads. I need more leads. Right. But really, what are leads? And at the end of the day, Travis Chappell gave us a great quote for what leads are. Essentially, conversations with your ideal client is what a lead is.
All right, so here we are. Gavin, welcome to the launch group. For those of you here who I haven't had the honor or delight to meet yet, I'm Hanna Hermanson. I'm our lead success coach, and I get to spend most of my time working with our accelerator clients, the folks in our year-long mastermind. And today I've brought our accelerator client, Gavin McHale, over because he is absolutely crushing it. He's on a major growth trajectory, and a lot of the lessons he's learning in the sales process can benefit all of us. So really excited to dig into things with you here, Gavin. But first, give us just a little backstory. Who were you when you came to HIC, when you met Zander, and the short story to where you are now?
How much time do you have?
90 seconds and go.
Okay. So actually originally met Zander in another mastermind when he first quit his job, slept on his couch, and about a year and a half, maybe even 2 years later, reconnected. I knew that I needed to speak to him. I knew that he was someone that could help me. Took the course, didn't buy in, didn't have as much success as I definitely know I didn't have as much success as I should have. Took me another year to finally figure it out. Started digging back into the materials just in time for Zander to announce his first live event, at which time I was considering a change from being a personal trainer to being more of a fitness business coach. It all worked out perfectly timing wise. And I was able to come back and really realize from my mistakes how important all this stuff is and how it is, I have all the tools I need.
Yeah, you're truly part of the fam. I love it. And so a former personal trainer training clients in person, and you've now transitioned to doing what? What's your online offer in business?
Yeah, so I help established strength coaches build six-figure businesses. So a lot of strength coaches get to the place where they're making 40 to 60K and grinding it out really hard. So I help them take that next step. And then more recently, it's been mainly with adding the online piece. It is something that we do, but we also just help them, build a more smooth, profitable, sustainable business in general.
Amazing. So many fit pros here in the community. We love them. Awesome. So Gavin, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are in the midst of your best online month ever. Is that right?
By far. Yeah.
And there's been some major shifts. We were just on our one-on-one coaching call this morning, and you were sharing just more breakthroughs that you've been having as you're breaking through your revenue numbers and earning more money. And I think, well, I know those are completely hand in hand, right? Yes. The shifts that you're having are impacting your sales. So we want to know, what are the shifts? What are the components contributing to this, record month for you? Break it down for us.
Yeah. So I'd love to impart some knowledge. Some knowledge that I wish I had heard when I was in the 8-week course.
There we go.
So I think the first thing is I realized the importance of, I guess for lack of a better term, the compounding interest of doing the mindset work consistently. So Joshua likes to call the morning routine like walking the dog. And I've really found a lot of success in doing, when you first start doing the morning routine, you guys are, if you're watching, you're probably like, oh, this is a pain. And I'm really not, maybe you're not seeing much out of it, or some of the other mindset work that is done in the course. What you realize is that work compounded and done over time is what's really going to shift your subconscious. Like you guys it's a sprint right now. The 8-week course is really a sprint. Over the next months and even years, that's when this is going to really take hold. And that's what's going to build that sustainable business. I can't believe I'm saying this right now. If 2018 Gavin had seen me, he'd be like, come on, man, no way.
Well, I think it's really interesting because you are a strength coach, and you know that to build any other muscle in the body, it's not just going to take 2 months or one workout a week. So there was a different, you had to map on that knowledge to the muscle of your brain and realize like, this is an ongoing exercise. Keep working it, man.
But I just wanted it I want it now. Come on.
Yeah.
I just want it now.
Yeah. I think a lot of entrepreneurs, me included, can definitely relate to that instant gratification desire. So just echoing compound effect, doing this mindset work will continue to benefit you for years to come. Stay on it.
Yeah. And that's when, and when you're doing the work and things aren't maybe going the way that you want, you can lean on the fact that, okay, like I'm doing the thing. So like, if I just keep leaning into this, it's going to come. And like, Hanna, we've talked, like there have been months where I have been in the dumps and I'm just like, I know I'm doing the right things. I know it's coming. Okay. The wind is in my face. And then you keep doing the things and it breaks through. So one of the huge shifts though that I've had even more recently is just I decided to make a shift in. So when coronavirus happened, I lost my cushion that was my in-person training. I was still hanging on to that. Hanna had been talking to me for months about it's time to go all in on this thing. And this was the shake that I needed to fall out of the tree. But I panicked. I thought I've lost my cushion. Like that money that I was bringing in that was just easy money for me, for lack of a better term, was gone. And it took a couple of days for me to be mad and for me to be grumpy. And then I made a shift, and I just remember I was doing a mindless task, and I just thought to myself, like, I just need to serve. Like I was coming from a place of scarcity of like, I've lost all my income. I need your money. I need your money. I need your money. And that doesn't just shine through in conversations. That shines through in every DM and every piece of content. Even if they don't know it, they are seeing if you are in that scarcity mindset. And so I made this shift, and the word for me has been to serve. And that's really helped me a lot of just like, as a coach, it is one, like above all else, it is our duty to serve those who need us, whether they know they need us yet or not. It's our duty to serve. So, what has shifted for me is every piece of content, every person I talk to now, whether they're even a prospect or not, is just how can I serve? How can I show up and leave this person better off than I found them?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so interesting how powerful our intentions are. I've definitely seen and talked to clients who it seems like they're on a treasure hunt for dollar bills. Like they're talking to prospects, like, is there a dollar bill on their forehead or not? If there's not, I'm moving on. When really, if we can foster relationships and be curious, like, can I help this person or not? Am I the right coach, or do I need to refer to Maddie or to Zander or to someone else? Because that's when we build true abundance. And that stuff always comes back, right? When you just show up with curiosity, I'm going to give the value you need. Maybe it's me, maybe it's someone else, but I just want to get you that next right step.
It's absolutely wild how because someone could have told me that 10 times, 100 times. And I'd be like, I don't know. And then when you see it happen, you're like, oh, this is the thing. And some helpful pieces for those enrollment conversations that can be a challenge is that shift to, this is not a sales call that I need to have like get all scared about and nervous about and be high pressure. This is a conversation that I'm having with someone that clearly thinks enough of me and what I do to spend 30 to 60 minutes on the phone with me. How can I ask all of the questions that I need to ask to know whether or not I can work with this person and I can help this person, and to leave them vulnerable enough and bare enough, so to speak, to know whether they need me. Like that's what the conversation has become for me. And it makes them way lower pressure.
Curiosity.
It's a lot more fun, guys.
Totally more fun. Yeah. I almost want to challenge everyone listening to go to your next sales call curious, like truly ask yourself, does this person need me? Can I help this person? Because again, it just shifts from that, I need you to close. Do you have a dollar bill on your forehead? Hurry up, give me your credit card number, to I may or may not be, we say that on calls, I may or may not be right for you, but like actually come from that place and just see what happens. Because like you said, Gavin, you're like, you know what, I'm going to decide to make this shift, to show up
Yeah.
to serve. And then you went and experimented with that mindset. And then you evaluated the results. And the results are, what percentage did you tell me this morning you're converting at?
Yeah. So I've been on 14 sales calls in April, and I've closed 5.
Yeah.
So better than 1 in 3, which at a 3K offer is, I feel pretty good about it.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. So much to feel good about. Okay. So number 1, keep doing the mindset work. You need that muscle to be walked like the dog, or exercise like your bicep every single day. Number 2, just decide to be curious and show up to serve on those calls. Anything else? I think you have a third one for us.
Yes. Yeah. So, we talk, whenever I get into conversations with personal trainers, strength coaches, I always hear, and Cahal and I have had this conversation, I need more leads. I need more leads. I need more leads. Right. But really, what are leads? And at the end of the day, Travis Chappell gave us a great quote for what leads are. Essentially, conversations with your ideal client is what a lead is.
Yes.
And what I've started doing is really seeing that and focusing on like the first piece of content that someone engages on or even sees, all the way through to when I call them on Zoom or pick up the phone for the enrollment conversation. That is essentially how I can show them huge value upfront. So as we would call it, like results in advance. How can I show them through my content, through legitimately caring about the conversation that I'm having with them, the DMs, like, I'm all for scaling, but don't scale before you can actually get into like a legitimate good conversation with someone. How can I, throughout our conversation, maybe provide them with more value with something that could help them? And then how can I, like, when we decide, we get on a clarity call, let's say, and we decide, okay, like this, we're going to move forward to a consultation call. How can I help them? What was coming up a lot on sales calls or enrollment conversations was they weren't 100% sure really what was going on, because it was all happening so fast. And so what was really helpful was we learned about like kind of a webinar that we could share with them that would be, yes, it's going to help them, stay warm and want to work with us, but it's also legitimately going to show them like what matters to us and how we do things. Yeah. So to be able to provide a ton of value up front, again, makes that conversation way less like pressure filled. It's like they've seen my face a bunch. They know what I'm all about. And now we can get into a conversation where there's a little less pressure on us and on them. Yeah. They're not just like, who is this guy? Like, what am I doing? Right? I think, does that make sense, Hannah?
Absolutely. What I'm hearing from you, Gavin, is really that next level of ownership and taking your business as the business owner. So you said something to me a few weeks ago. You were like, hey, Hannah, look at this message I'm sending on LinkedIn. Is it okay? And I was like, is it working? And you're like, yeah, they love it. And I was like, great. You got curious about your audience. You asked a really important question, which was, would I respond to the message I'm sending? You gave yourself that gut check and you thought, you know what? The scripts other people are using or the things that might work for Zander and Susie just aren't working for me. So what do I need to shift? How can I personalize? How can I get my ideal clients to respond in a way that feels good? And so you've been taking the foundations, the basics, and improving in a really curious way. And that's what we all need to be doing here as business owners, is not just taking the script and copy and pasting and plug and play and hoping that what worked for someone else is going to work for you, because that will run out. At some point, you have to develop your own voice. You have to ask yourself hard questions. You have to be your own coach in some ways. And that's what I'm hearing from you.
100%. And if I could add one more little point about that is, I don't know how we are for time or if you're okay, but
Yeah, go. We're
of
good.
the people that I've enrolled this month, they've all been great fits. And I have, like, when we're in the DMs and things like that, like, I am providing value and showing that give a shit, for lack of
Yeah.
a better term.
Yep.
And 3 of the 5, within 5 minutes of jumping on the enrollment conversation, the perfect consultation, so to speak, all said it was that first message. I get those every day from people just like you, especially right now, during the coronavirus when everyone's online. They're like, I get these every day. And it was your message. Like, I wouldn't have even responded. I would have literally just deleted the message if you didn't, say that or do it that way. And legitimately show, like, that you checked out my Facebook and my Instagram and, like, saw my dog and, like, something like that. Like,
Yeah. You
you
personalized
say
it.
you should, yeah, like, you say, oh, make sure you personalize it. Actually personalize it. Like, take a couple minutes, because if you're trying to get into 30 conversations a day and they're not going well, why not get into 3 and make them go really well? And then see if you can start adding more and more to that. I think that's what was I had to do. I had to kind of take a step back and think, how can I make these way more valuable for people?
I love this. And you were able to get to that point because you decided to come from a place of curiosity and serve, and you had the mindset to support it. So many golden nuggets here. I think these 3 elements of, number 1, consistent mindset. Number 2, just decide to show up as a leader, as a servant, and pretend, just act as if you're curious and just see what happens, see what results you get if you show up differently to those sales calls. And then lastly, evaluate the whole process, from content to targeting to messaging, and look at what's working. Ask yourself, would I respond to this? And how can I really personalize and show up as that leader, as that service-oriented person that I'm embodying?
Absolutely.
So good.
You couldn't have said it better myself, Hannah.
You said all of that.
In a way longer way. You just make it sound so much better.
That's what I'm here for. Good stuff. So tons of golden nuggets so far. I would love to just leave with maybe a final thought that you have for coaches who are just starting out on this journey, whether they're just starting our program or they're thinking about the program or they're just brand new to the online space. You said something at the beginning, like, these are the things I wish I would have known or I would have really heard at the beginning. But if you could just, like, distill it down, what do you want them to hear? What should they know where they are now?
I think it's hard to put into words, really, but the first thing really is that, to build something bigger than yourself is not going to be done in 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 10 weeks. Put in the work now, take it all in, know that there's huge value in the fact that you can, like, come back to it and you have these tools now, and really get ready. What was it that Sage said to us at the live event, Hannah? A willingness to be a part of the timeless fight. Like, it is, your duty. If you want to be a coach, you have a responsibility. And if you want to build a business that provides 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, 7 figures of value to the world, you've got work to do. And it's not to say that it's going to take forever. You're in the right place, I can tell you that. But it's going to take a bit of time. It's going to take ups and downs, and it's not going to be easy. So be ready for the timeless fight, I guess, would be a great way to end it.
The timeless fight. Hell yes. We did not sign up for easy. We signed up for impact.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Gavin. We'll definitely make sure folks can contact you and network with you, because we're all here in this community together, here to learn from each other. So thanks again, Gavin.
Thanks,
and
Hannah.
Yeah, I'll see you guys later.